RiverBender.com's live coverage of tonight's game is brought to you by Meridian Bank, large enough to serve all your banking needs, small enough to care about you. Alton Memorial Hospital, the best health care close to home. Tom Lane State Farm, your good neighbor agent in the Riverbend. Roberts Motors, the value store since 1949. Gerard Fisher American Family Insurance, all your protection under one roof. Weber Granite City Chevrolet. St. Anthony's Health Center, innovation, commitment, compassion. First Cloverleaf Bank, we're better together. Alton Sports Tap, sports, food, and good times. And by the Bank of Edwardsville, the people you know and trust. Metro East Lutheran Knights will receive the opening kickoff. The Explorers' Zach Keenan will tee the ball at his own 40-yard line as we're about set to get this game. And the 2008 season underway for the Marquette Explorers and the Metro East Lutheran Knights. Back deep to receive for the Knights, number 19, Matthew Brindelson. And the other man back deep, number 82, Eric Johnson. So they get the indication from the referee. Everybody on their feet, and we are set for action. The Explorers and the Knights, and Keenan gets a low line drive kick away towards the near sideline, picked up by Brindelson at his own 10, out across the 20 to the 25. He's a big guy and bowls his way out to the 30-yard line, and the Knights will start 1st and 10 right there.
Yeah, that wasn't a very good kick by Zach Keenan. We expect better things, bigger things from him this year. He has a very good leg. Nerves probably got to him on that one, but we do expect big things from him.
Back in your coaching days, did you prefer getting the game underway, playing offense or defense?
It didn't really matter. Usually I like having the ball first.
Well, the Knights have the first opportunity here. And the Explorer defense will see if they can get things started on a positive note. Under center for the Knights, number 7, Andrew Langendorf, a senior quarterback, turns and gives it to the first man through, and that goes nowhere. That was number 33 on the carry, and that is Joe McCall.
55 on the tackle, and I don't yet know. Mitch Woolner made a good stick.
A 3-yard loss on that carry by McCall. He went nowhere as Woolner was across the line of scrimmage quickly. So it's 2nd and 13 for the Knights back at their own 27-yard line. They send a receiver wide to the left side, a wing to the right. And here's the give to Brindelson, and Brindelson out across the 30 to about the 33-yard line. A gain of 6 on that carry for Brindelson, but it's going to be 3rd and long for the Knights.
And that was Zach Keenan who came up and made a nice stick there. Good tackle by Zach, kept his head up well, a good tackling for position.
Brindelson, a big guy, 6 foot 200. Actually picked up 7 on that carry.
Well, you know, Sam, you were talking about how Marquette doesn't have a whole lot back from last year, but Metro East does have quite a bit back from last year.
So 3rd and 6 for the Knights from their own 34-yard line. Again, a wing to the right side. They put that man in motion to the left side. And Langendorf turns and gives it on the counter, and that's Brindelson. And the ball is loose, and the Explorers say they've got it. Let's see what the officials say. Marquette has recovered that fumble. And on the football for the Explorers, Thomas Hendrick.
And you couldn't ask for a better series for the Marquette defense. That's a great way to start this season. And now they're set up on the 35-yard line going in.
So the Explorer offense will take the field for the first time tonight. 10:33 remaining in the first quarter. Marquette's first possession, they send receivers left and right. Left wide to the left side is Michael Selby. Zach Keenan wide right, double wing formation. They put Bryce Smith in motion and give it to the fullback. That's Angelo Cross, and he just hammers his way straight ahead for a gain of about 5 yards down to the 30-yard line.
And that's simply just a straight fullback belly where the quarterback reverses out, gives to the fullback. The fullback goes up between the guard and center in that case, and picked up about 5 yards.
2nd down and 5 for the Explorers at the 30 of the Knights. Again, Keenan wide to the right side.
That backfield Marquette has right now, Sam, that's a completely new backfield from last year.
Man in motion to the left side. Again, it's Cross, and this time he's hit after a couple of yard gain. He takes it down to the 27-yard line. A gain of 3 will bring about 3rd and short. So Cross on the first 2 carries for 8 yards from the fullback position. The quarterback is Keenan Eberlin, a junior. Max Vest, last year's quarterback, graduated, as did most of the backfield.
Keenan did get to play a lot last year on the underclass level, but he has very little varsity experience. Same with Angelo Cross in the backfield, playing at fullback.
Receiver wide to the right side, double wing formation. And here is Eberlin keeping it himself, following two men through the hole to the right side. He's got first down yardage inside the 25 down to the 23-yard line. A gain of 5 on that carry for Keenan Eberlin, and a first down, the first of the season for the Explorers.
And that was a pre-designed play where the quarterback just tucks the ball in and follows his halfback right off the guard, right in the guard tackle hole.
They followed Cross, the fullback, and then Travis Jones also through that hole, and finally Eberlin. And that gain of 5 on his first carry. First and 10 for the Explorers at the 22 of the Knights. We'll call it the 23. Now we've got two men in motion, and finally the referee recognizes that. Angelo Cross recognized it before the referee did. And Cross raised his hand and said, that was my fault. So a 5-yard walk-off.
That raising his hand comes from his basketball playing days. But, you can shift more than one man, but you can't go in motion with more than one man. And if Angelo would have gotten set, there was still plenty of time for him to reset. But that comes with inexperience, and as he gains experience, he'll know what to do in a case like that.
So the 5-yard walk-off marks it back to the 27 of the Knights. First and 15 for the Explorers right there. Marquette started this drive at the 35 after Thomas Hendrick recovered the Metro East Lutheran fumble. Double wing formation. They put a man in motion to the left side, and they give it to the fullback. That's Cross. Trying to turn that left corner. Stays on his feet inside the 25, down to about the 23-yard line. A gain of 4 for Angelo Cross.
And one thing Angelo's got to learn is, and it wasn't a nice gain actually, but he needs to learn to run as a fullback north and south, which means running towards the goal line instead of running east and west, which is towards the sideline. So we want to see him get those tough yards inside and let Jones and Brimage and Bryce Smith, the running backs, get the outside yardage.
2nd and 11 Explorers at the 23 of the Knights. Here's the pitch back, and here's Travis Jones trying to turn that right corner, but he can't. He may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but no more, as coming up is a linebacker for the Knights. And Jake Holly made a nice play there to throw Travis Jones for a 1-yard loss. It's going to be 3rd and 12 Marquette.
Yeah, Travis there, that's his first carry of the year, and he's going to have a big year for Marquette. We know that. But he'd have been better off right there if he would have dipped inside and tried to get the yardage than to try to get outside, where the Metro East Lutheran defender made a nice play.
So on the 3rd down play, Keenan Eberlin brings the team to the line of scrimmage. He sends Michael Selby wide to the left side, Zach Keenan wide right. The ball on the right hash mark. And from the double wing formation, they put a man in motion to the right side, and Eberlin rolls to the right, lets it go deep down the middle, incomplete. A little confusion there between quarterback and receiver, as the receiver was running to the corner, and Eberlin let it go right down the middle, and really no chance for a completion there, as the intended receiver was Bryce Smith, and actually Eberlin overshot him by about 5 yards at the goal line.
Yeah, it wasn't very close. Obviously, there was a communication breakdown there. If the receiver would have kept on running, they might have had something, but not this time.
Now a 40-yard field goal attempt for the Explorers. Zach Keenan will attempt it. And I think he's got the range.
Well,
Let's see if he
has
can
the range. There's no doubt about that.
Find the mark. Here's the kick. It's up, it's high, it's plenty long, and it is no good. Wide to the left side. So the Explorers, after forcing the turnover, are not able to convert. And the ball goes back over to the Metro East Lutheran Knights after the 40-yard field goal attempt goes wide left.
Well, Metro East Lutheran, they got off lucky there because they gave Marquette the ball on the 35-yard line, and then Marquette actually picked up a first down and maybe even 2, but then the motion penalty stopped everything.
That kick had plenty of distance, but he just missed it. I don't think he missed it by much. Wide left from the right hash mark. And so the Knights now with their second possession, they turned it over on a fumble on the first possession, 1st and 10 And here is the give. There's another fumble. The ball loose, still on the ground, and finally rolls out of bounds on the near sideline. As the give was to Brindleson, he never had it, and then boxed it around a while, and it finally, fortunately for Metro East Lutheran, rolled out of bounds at the 22-yard line, and they end up picking up 2 yards on the play.
Yeah, and that ball probably rolled about 10 yards, a good 10 yards at least. Unfortunate for Marquette, we could not pick it up, but again, fortunate for the Lutheran Knights in that the ball did roll out of bounds.
So they've had some ball security issues here in the early going. We're down to 6:54 remaining in the first quarter. 2nd and 8, Metro East Lutheran from their own 22-yard line. Here's the pitch back. Brindleson trying to turn to left corner. And there to bring him down is Cecil Brimage as flags fly.
Well, there's definitely holding on that play. You could see it from way up here, Sam. Our right guard, the Marquette right guard, was held the whole play. And the refs did see that, of course, and now we've got a penalty.
So Brimage made the tackle for a loss of a yard, and he was completely outsized there as Brindleson is 6 foot 200, Brimage 5'7", 140, but he showed good form and brought him down on a one-on-one tackle.
Well, I'll tell you something about that Cecil Brimage and his 140 pounds. He is tough as nails. I've been watching him since he was a freshman, and he's a junior now, and he will not back down from anybody.
Marquette will decline the penalty. And so it's going to be 3rd and 9 for the Knights from their own 21-yard line. So they take the 1-yard loss as opposed to a 10-yard walk-off. And here on the 3rd down play, 3rd and 9, a pass completed out into the right flat. Langendorf hits his man out at about the 25-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, but not nearly enough for the first down. Making the reception was Matt Holly, and he was brought down immediately, and it's 4th and 5 for the Knights.
So now we'll see the Marquette punt return team, and this is where Travis Jones could be most dangerous. If they get that ball to him, I would not be surprised to see him take it quite a ways.
Travis Jones and Cecil Brimage back deep to receive the kick. And they both stand back at about their own 40-yard line. In punt formation, the Knights with a long count. And the kick is blocked. It is blocked and is going to go out of bounds at the 21-yard line. So the kick actually nets a -4 as it was blocked by the Explorers. And I'll tell you what, their punt formation was faulty. That punter was not deep enough, and then nobody blocked the oncoming Explorer rushers, and about 3 of them were in there before the kicker could ever get his foot on the football.
It looked like, Sam, they only had 2 backs back there blocking. I was trying to count their number of players out there. They did have 11, but they were confused. It looked like that was Steve Nutley who came through and blocked that kick.
So the Explorers will start 1st and 10 at the 22 of the Knights. So the second straight possession for Marquette starting deep in Knight territory. Here's the give to Angelo Cross. He stood up at the line of scrimmage and finally brought down after a gain of maybe a yard.
Yeah, that was, again, just that straight fullback belly, and that time it got only about a yard. But watch for our coach to come back with some kind of reverses and trying to get his wing slot men into the play more often.
Well, 6 running plays, 4 have gone to the fullback, 1 to a halfback, and 1 to the quarterback. So they have primarily featured the fullback, Angelo Cross. And it's just about time to belly the football to him and pull it out and pitch it back to somebody and have the Knights converging on Cross and the running back heading to the end zone. Here's the give once again to Cross right up the middle and just powers his way forward for a gain of about 5 down to the 16-yard line. And that's going to bring about 3rd and 4 for the Explorers.
Well, if you keep pounding that fullback, what you'll do is you'll bring the defense in. And as soon as you bring that defense in, that's when you want to get the ball to a halfback going to the outside. And I'm sure that's what Coach is setting up.
Now 3rd and 4 for the Explorers at the 16 of the Knights. The clock rolling with 4:35 remaining here in this yet scoreless first quarter. Marquette missed a 40-yard field goal attempt moments earlier. And now, on 3rd and 4 at the 16, they put a man in motion to the right side, and they run the counter to the left. It's Bryce Smith trying to turn that left corner, eludes one tackler. Now a flag is thrown, and Smith is going to be close to a first down, but the flag probably is not good news for the Explorers.
No, that's going to go against Marquette, and that'll take them back 15 yards. Marquette's begun two two series now are in very good position, and right now they're getting marched back again. So it's not a good start on the Marquette offense.
A hold against the Explorers, a 10-yard walk-off from the spot of the foul. The flag was lying at the 15. They'll walk it back to the 25, and that will bring about third and about 13 for Marquette. The Explorers' second penalty of the night. Smith might have had the first down. It was going to be very close, but that is moot now as Marquette faces 3rd and 13. Their first possession stalled because of a motion penalty. And now back to throw. Keenan Eberlin, he lets it go deep down the middle. He's got his man, Zach Keenan, touchdown! The pass was underthrown. Keenan came back for it at the goal line and made the reception. A 25-yard touchdown pass from Keenan Eberlin to Zach Keenan. And the Explorers are on the board for the first time in 2008.
And that was a nice throw by Keenan Eberlin, and even a nicer catch by Zach Keenan. So Keenan to Keenan for the touchdown.
And now Zach Keenan, who scored the touchdown, will try to score his 7th point of the night. Out of the hold of Keenan Eberlin. And the kick is up. It's high, long, and it's good. 4:02 remaining in the first quarter. The score, Marquette 7, Metro East Lutheran nothing. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
When you play sports like football, injuries are going to happen. That's why more area schools count on the Human Motion Institute's sports medicine pros to keep their athletes healthy and in the game. Our certified athletic trainers are part of the team, assessing and treating injuries right on the field. And if serious injury occurs, they're backed by an expert team of Alton Memorial Hospital surgeons and therapists. The Human Motion Institute at Alton Memorial Hospital. We're part of the team.
Sports, food, and good times. All this and more are waiting for you at Alton Sports Tap. Gather the crew for a night out, or better yet, bring in the whole family and enjoy the best burger or wings in town. We offer daily specials, an affordable menu, and a family-friendly atmosphere. Visit our new Caribbean-themed edition. We also have banquet and meeting rooms for your special occasion. Alton Sports Tap, serving up sports, food, and good times daily at the intersection of Route 140 and Homer Adams Parkway in Alton.
With Mike Slaughters, Sam Stam at Public School Stadium in Alton. Zach Keenan gets the kick away, and Brindleson returns it for the Knights, and he is hammered to the turf as he took it out to the 20-yard line.
And did you see who hammered him, Sam?
Cecil Brimage.
Cecil Brimage, all 140 pounds of him. He just nailed him. I tell you what, too, what helped is that was a much better kick by Zach Keenan. That ball went down to the 6-yard line. It had good air time under it, too.
So the Knights with 2 first-quarter turnovers, and the Explorers finally able to cash in on those turnovers with the 25-yard touchdown pass from Eberlin to Keenan. 7-0 Explorers, and the Marquette defense has not given much so far here in the first quarter.
No, the Marquette defense has been the star of the game so far.
Pitch back to Brindleson, trying to sweep the left side, find some running room down the left sideline, out across the 30 to the 35 to the 37-yard line. A pickup of 17 on that carry, and the first down of the night for the Knights.
Yeah, so as soon as I say they've been the star of the game, the other team whips off a 17-yard run. But the Marquette defense has been playing quite well so far.
Brindleson's 4th carry for a total of 25 yards. 1st and 10 Knights from their own 37-yard line. Down to 3:46 and counting, remaining in the first quarter. The Knights with the receiver to the left side, and here is the give right up the middle. It's the fullback.
Another fumble.
And the ball is loose once again, and the Explorers say they've got it at the 40-yard line. Let's see what happens when they unpile them. On the carry, it was Joe McCall, and he did lose it.
And they do. Yeah, Marquette has the ball again.
So 3 possessions and 3 lost fumbles for the Knights.
And you know, Sam, oftentimes you'll see a first game of the season decided by turnovers, of course, like we're seeing right now, or by penalties. And right now, as you said, is that the 3rd fumble for the Knights?
3 possessions, 3 fumbles lost. And this time the Explorers start at the 40. They started at the 35 after the first fumble, missed a 40-yard field goal. Started at the 21. Well, actually, the second time was not a fumble. It was a block punt.
Right.
So
they did fumble on that series, but they got it back.
Yeah, they got it back. But 3 fumbles, 2 lost, and now Keenan Eberlin swarmed under by the Knights defense as he tried to run the option to the left side, and before he could even turn and look for a back, he was brought down and lost 2 yards on the play.
Well, it looked to me like that was what coaches call in his halfback belly, in which they belly the fullback through. They don't give to him. The wingback comes around, and he's going to go up off tackle. They give the ball to him, but the timing was off, and Keenan Eberlin had to eat that ball.
But he did the right thing rather than
exactly
trying to do something silly. He just took the loss, and now on 2nd and 12, he pitches back, and here's Cecil Brimage trying to turn the left corner, makes a nice move, another nice move at the 40, down to the 30-yard line goes Cecil Brimage, and then a flag is thrown at about the point of the tackle, a late flag. Cecil Brimage picks up 16 on that carry and got a lot of it on his own, but this penalty may go against the Explorers. It is a hold against Marquette. So they'll walk it off from the spot of the foul, which is the 31, and it will actually net about a yard on the play.
Well, I tell you what, Cecil Brimage showed a lot of athleticism and a lot of speed on that play. He's a very good running back. He has, as we've said before, gotten better every year. And that was a nice run. Unfortunately, with the holding call, it is being called back.
He made 2 nice moves. One, as he tried to turn the corner to elude a defensive end, and then about 5 yards further downfield, he put a move on a guy, and it looked like something you might have seen last year.
It looked a lot like Zerwas last year, didn't it?
It did. It really did. Maybe you watched Zerwas in practice some last year and said, well, heck, I can do that.
Well, anyhow, I think we'll be seeing a lot of Brimage in the backfield. He did not start on offense tonight. He started on defense, but I think in the future we'll see him on offense.
3 penalties for Marquette for 25 yards. It's 2nd and 12, and here is the give, and now Marquette fumbles. Another flag is thrown, and I think
it's a face mask this time, so Marquette might just get to keep the ball.
I'm not sure if the Knights came up with that football or not. They haven't really indicated, because first they're talking about the penalty. I think that was Steve Utley on the carry for the first time tonight from the fullback position. And now we await the indication. It's a personal foul face mask against the Knights. That's a critical penalty. That'll cost them 15 yards and give the Explorers a first down all the way down near the 20-yard line.
Well, and what Marquette's doing right now is giving Angelo Cross a blow, letting him get some rest because he plays offense and defense. And he's very aggressive, in on every play offensively and defensively. He needs to get a little rest, and they bring Steve Utley in, and they're going from a taller fullback to a very prototypical fullback. Stephen Utley is has a great body for a fullback. He's short, he's stocky, he's powerful, and a kid like that running through gets a lot of face mask penalties because of his low stature.
Utley saw quite a bit of action last year from the fullback position, spelling Larry Newquist from time to time.
And on defense, Utley led the team in tackling.
1st and 10 Explorers at the 20 of the Knights after the 15-yard walk-off. Double wing formation. Brimage in motion to the left side. They pitch it back to Brimage. Finds a hole and
don't stop.
Is still on his feet, and finally he just stopped. He was hit and stopped and stood up, and he just stopped.
Yeah.
And finally decided, well, maybe I can keep going. The whistle hasn't blown. And as it turns out, he picks up 3 on the carry, but could have had more if he'd just kept going.
I'm going to guarantee you, Coach has taught these kids to keep going until the whistle blows, but they didn't do it that time. Cecil just stopped and stood up and just looked around.
Everybody was on the ground except Brimage. The blockers, the men trying to tackle him, and he just kind of bounced off and then stood there for a second, and then when he tried to take off, somebody jumped up and grabbed him. Now the give to Utley, and Utley is stacked up near the line of scrimmage, keeps the legs turning, but might have gained a yard at most, and it's going to be 3rd and 7 for the Explorers as there was no gain on the play.
I look for Coach to come back with the reverse here, especially to Jones maybe, and utilize his speed. I think Jones has only carried the ball 1 time so far. So let's get him in the game.
Yeah, Jones 1 carry from the halfback position, and Brimage officially just 1 carry, as his first carry of the night was nullified on the holding penalty. We're down inside of a minute remaining in the first quarter. And 3rd and 7 for the Explorers at the 17 of the Knights. Brimage in motion to the left side, and now the referee blows his whistle, and it's a delay of game against the Explorers. So again, Marquette struggling with penalties here, and especially, well, they've had the ball deep in Metro East Lutheran territory all night, but every one of these penalties has really hurt.
Absolutely, and Marquette's had the luxury all night long of every one of their starting drives has begun on the Metro East Lutheran side of the field, so they got to make the most out of that, because if you let a team hang around long enough, bad things can happen in the end.
Marquette leading 7-0, 33 seconds remaining in the first quarter. 3rd and 12, Marquette at the 22 of the Knights.
Well, here's a good time to see if Marquette's got any kind of trick plays up their sleeves. Or
now the Explorers want a timeout as they've had way too much confusion out there. They don't want to risk another delay of game penalty, so a timeout on the field. 33 seconds remaining first quarter. Marquette 7, Metro East Lutheran nothing. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
The sun always rises, your dog will always love you, and the tax man always shows up. There are just some things in life you know you can depend on. So when you're ready to depend on someone for your life insurance, depend on me, Tom Lane, your local State Farm agent. We may already insure your car and home, but your life insurance is one of the things that matters the most. For more information, contact my office in Bethalto at 377-8912 or online at tomlaneagency.net.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
What do I need to do to sell you a car today?
Stop by Roberts Motors in Alton, Illinois.
Following the Explorer timeout, it's 3rd and 12, Marquette at the 22 of the Knights. And back to throw, Eberlin looking deep down the left side. He lets it go, and it's incomplete at the goal line. The intended receiver was Travis Jones, and he was held up at about the 10-yard line, but I guess the officials ruled that Jones and the defender just kind of got tangled up, and when Jones finally broke through, the ball overlet him just a bit too much, and it's going to be 4th down and another field goal attempt for the Explorers.
yeah, that was actually a nice design play, and if Jones hadn't gotten tangled up with that defender, he would have been in the clear, but as happened, he did get tangled up with the defender, and therefore was not able to get to that ball.
A 38-yard attempt from nearly the middle of the field. Eberlin will hold. Zach Keenan's attempt is up. It's high. It's plenty long. And this one is good. A 38-yard field goal by Zach Keenan. And with 22 seconds remaining in the quarter, Marquette extends its lead 10-0. And the Explorers, who have been given a lot of golden opportunities here in the early going, have cashed into the tune of 10 points. Not perfect. They could be up as many as 21, I guess you could argue. But when you've got a 10-0 lead late in the first quarter and the other team has not crossed midfield, you're doing pretty well.
Well, in first game of the season, both teams have first game jitters and stuff. I'm sure Marquette's very happy right now to be up 10-0. And I tell you what, Zach Keenan showed a lot of leg right there. That ball not only got through the uprights, but made it by plenty of distance. And that's the kind of thing that Coach Nelson is expecting from Zach Keenan all year long.
Well, I watched Keenan in the pregame, and he was hitting from well outside the 40-yard line, so or outside the 30 for well outside of the 40-yard field goal range. And that one was 38, and it had plenty. It would have been good from 48. So that could be a weapon that the Explorers may feature throughout the season. Keenan missed a 40-yarder earlier, wide left. It too had plenty of leg.
Well, another weapon on the kicking game is when your kickoff man can kick it into the end zone, and we haven't yet seen that from Zach, but I'm sure he's got the ability to do that.
This time he put it down to the 5, and here's the return by the Knights out across the 20 to about the 23-yard line. 1st and 10 for Metro East Lutheran right there. That's their third kickoff return here in the first quarter. And that's one thing you don't want to do. You don't want to have too many kickoff returns, do you?
No, you sure don't.
One a game would be fine.
That's absolutely right. But, the difference, Sam, in this game so far has been, two things. Field position and turnovers. And Marquette has come up on the better end in both cases.
Metro East Lutheran has turned the ball over twice with fumbles and also had a punt blocked. And they have not had the football outside their own 40-yard line. And Marquette's worst starting field position was the Metro East Lutheran 40. So down to 14 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Langendorf brings the team back out, and here's the pitch back. And here's Brindleson trying to sweep the left side. He's got some running room, has first down yardage and then some out across the 35 to about the 37-yard line. A gain of 13 on that carry, 14 out to the 38-yard line.
Well, and that's been Metro East Lutheran's best play right there, just pitching the ball out and letting Brindleson run with the ball. What they're doing is very simply they're running a twin set backfield, which means simply they've got two backs in the backfield. And in this case, they took the left back and just pitched the ball out to him and said run. And he was able to run for 12 yards.
That's the end of the first quarter. The score, Marquette 10, Metro East Lutheran nothing. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
Take a look at the latest J.D. Power and Associates insurance certifications for customer satisfaction. Know what each certified agency has in common?
Each is with American Family Insurance.
In fact, American Family Agencies are the first agencies certified by J.D. Power and Associates.
According to our policyholders, our agents deliver an outstanding customer experience.
American Family Insurance.
All your protection
under one roof.
Call me, Gerard Fisher, at 466-7062 or stop by 3014 Godfrey Road.
Hi, George Weber. As we watch this year's Olympic Games and root for the world's top athletes, the Weber Chevrolet family wants to offer some encouragement to the terrific men and women representing our country. You are the best of the best. We know how hard you have worked. Win or lose, we are proud of you, and you are all truly winners. Even though you are half a world away, we are with you through every sprint, jump, and dive. And we sing along with you when you stand on that medal stand listening to the national anthem. So from all of us at Weber Chevrolet, go Team USA.
With Mike Slaughter, Sam Stam back at Public School Stadium in Alton. Well, Coach Slaughter, if you were still patrolling the sidelines for the Explorers, would you be pleased at this point?
Being the first game and being just the end of the first quarter with a 10-0 lead, I'd be pleased. I'd also be kicking myself a little bit about the missed opportunities. But again, first game jitters. Right now Marquette's happy with a 10-0 lead. Metro East, on the other hand, is down, 0-10. So Marquette's happy with themselves.
It's 1st and 10 for the Knights from their own 38-yard line. Metro East Lutheran with 2 first downs on the night. The Explorers with only 3. But the difference has been field position. Now Brindleson, lots of running room to the right side. Brindleson out across midfield and down to the Explorer 45, maybe the 44-yard line. Brindleson, a big guy, doesn't have a lot of speed, but once he gets that forward momentum going, look out. And that was a gain of 18 on that carry. And the third first down of the night for the Knights.
And very simply, what the Knights did is they faked the ball to the fullback going right up the middle, and just about 10 Explorers went for it. They were all over the fullback, but they didn't know that the football wasn't there. The quarterback then just handed off to the halfback, who went around the right end.
Brindleson 6 carries for 57 yards. 1st and 10 at the Explorer 44-yard line. They put a man in motion to the left side, and Langendorf gives it on the delay. And again, it's Brindleson, and this time he tries to go up the gut, and there's nothing there. Mitch Woolner met him in the hole and actually threw him for a loss of a yard.
See, what's happening is the Knights are having absolutely no success up the middle, and that's where Marquette's toughest. But outside the ends, both left and right, they're having good success. So watch for them to keep on trying to get the ball outside. But every now and then you got to keep them honest, keep Marquette honest, and send that fullback up the middle.
2nd down for the Knights at the Explorer 45-yard line. And Langendorf back to throw, lets it go out to the left side and completes the pass. But how do you do, says Cecil Brimage, as he brings the receiver down after a gain of about 3 down to the 47-yard line.
And there's that man, Cecil Brimage again. I tell you what, the Marquette defense, as I've said, has played well all night and made some big sticks, but some of the biggest sticks have been made by the littlest guy out there.
Christian Wise made the reception. Langendorf now 2 for 2 for 7 yards. And his 3rd and 7 Knights at the Marquette 42-yard line. Down to 10:15 and counting remaining in the first half. Marquette with a 10-0 lead here in the season opener. A man in motion to the right side for the Knights, and here's a pitch back to Brindleson in all kinds of running room. Inside the 40, inside the 35, and down to the 31-yard line, and they're clearing out that right side. And another first down for the Knights on another big gainer by Brindleson.
Well, you're right, that right side. The right side of the Knights offense is Marquette's left side on defense. And I don't know where the whole left side of the Marquette defense is, but they sure aren't out there on the field on that play at least. They all sucked in, and if I was the Knights, just keep on running that play and running that play.
There was no defensive end. There was no linebacker. It was up to the cornerback to come up and make the tackle. 1st and 10 Knights at the Marquette 31. Langendorf punt fakes, now goes deep down the left side for Wise, incomplete. Covered closely by Cecil Brimage, and Langendorf just had to throw it as far as he could and hope his receiver could run under it. He could not.
Well, that play wasn't set up well enough yet. They'd ran that play where they have a quick out to the end, and they only ran it about once, maybe twice all night long. What they just now did is what we used to call a breaking down or an out and down, where the receiver fakes to the outside and then goes up the sideline. But no one bid on that, so the Marquette defense did a good job in defending that one.
2nd down and 10 Knights at the Marquette 31. And here is the give to Brindleson on a delay, and that goes nowhere as Angelo Cross is there along with Mitch Woolner to throw Brindleson for a loss of a yard, and it's going to be 3rd and 11.
Well, that was better played by the left side of the Marquette defense. Again, that's where the Knights have had their best success, going against the Marquette left side of the defense, going to the Knights' right side. So that time they played much better.
9-10 and counting remaining in the first half. Metro East Lutheran's deepest penetration of the night into Marquette territory, and they face 3rd and long. A wing to the right, and back to throw Langendorf. Looking out to the left side, he completes it to Wise, and Cecil Brimage right there to bring him down at the 25-yard line. That'll go as a gain of 8, but bring about 4th and about 3.
But that was a tough throw. I tell you what, the Knights are only sending about 1 or maybe even 2 receivers out. Marquette had 3 kids defending that guy, and the quarterback was able to put it in there. It was a very dangerous pass, and if he's not careful, he's going to get it picked off, and it'll go back all the way for a touchdown the other way. But in this case, it worked, and it was a very good pass by the Metro East Lutheran Knights quarterback.
You think the Knights missed their quarterback coach?
You know
Charlie
what?
Raich
I
has
have no doubt that they missed Charlie Raich.
Helped out over the past several years in Edwardsville, and of course Charlie in a better place now. 4th and short, 4th and 2 for the Knights at the 24, and here's all kinds of running room for Brindleson to the right side. Brindleson has first down yardage inside the 20, down to about the 16-yard line, and they're just wiping out that left side of the Marquette defense.
It's just a quick sweep. I'm not even a sweep, actually, just a quick toss. And what we used to call a quick pitch, just pitch it out to the back and let him run. And again, for whatever reason, I don't know where the left end of the Marquette defense is, or the left outside backer. Well, Marquette's playing a 3-4 for one thing, so the end's really not out there. But the outside backer needs to make that play, and the cornerback needs to come up quicker.
1st and 10 Knights at the Marquette 17-yard line. A wing to the right side, a receiver wide left. And Langendorf gives it on the crossing counter, and a big hole up the middle down to the 5-yard line goes the ball carrier. With the football that time was Daniel Niemeyer. He was set up as the receiver to the right side, and they just kind of ran it as a counter. And he took it all the way down to the 5-yard line for a gain of 12, 1st and goal Knights.
And you got to give the Knights credit. That was a very well-executed play right up the gut, but they faked it to the outside, gave it to the fullback going, or to the halfback going up the middle, and very well-designed play.
1st and goal, Metro East Lutheran at the Marquette 5-yard line. The Knights now with 6 first downs on the night. And here's the give, and they're in for the touchdown. They gave it just right up the gut. I'm trying to see who the ball carrier was, but at any rate, that was Niemeyer, I guess.
Brindleson, they were saying.
It was Brindleson. Brindleson on the carry, and the 5-yard touchdown run pulls the Knights to within 4 of the Explorers.
That was a nice series by the Knights. Again, for some reason, Marquette's making some mistakes out there on the defense. On the left side, at least, they're getting sucked in. But you got to give the Knights credit. They had some well-executed plays.
Brindleson, 11 carries for 78 yards and a touchdown. And now Joe McCall will attempt the extra point. The snap, the spot, the kick, it's up, it's high, it's plenty long. And it's good. 7:16 remaining in the first half. The score now, Marquette 10, Metro East Lutheran 7. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports. St. Anthony's Health Center, located in Alton, is serving the Riverbend area with quality patient care and comfort through comprehensive outpatient rehabilitative therapy services, advanced diagnostic technology, and emergency services, while also providing community education classes that benefit those of all ages. All brought to you by St. Anthony's Health Center's dedicated and caring health professionals.
It's good to be first. First Cloverleaf Bank.
Sam Stem along with Mike Slaughter back at Public School Stadium in Alton. And Mike, during the break you mentioned the Knights learned if you hang on to the football, good things happen.
And that's what we had seen the first 3 times the Knights had the ball. They lost 2 fumbles. They had another fumble they didn't lose, but they did have a blocked punt on that series. This was the first series they had where they did not make any miscues, and they scored.
And now they kick it away to the Explorers, and here is Cecil Brimage from his own 15 out across the 20, right up the gut he goes. Brimage bounces off tacklers at the 30, right sideline to midfield, and caught, from behind down to the 40 of the Knights. Cecil Brimage with a scintillating kick return, and the Explorers have it right back in Metro East Lutheran territory.
Well, and for what, the 5th time, Sam, Marquette starting on the Metro East Lutheran side of the field?
Yes, indeed. This time, thanks to the dandy kick return by Cecil Brimage, took it from, about his own 12, all the way down to the Metro East Lutheran 40, and luckily for the Knights, they had an angle on him, because if Brimage had one more step, he was gone.
I thought he was gone. I really did, and I was hoping for him. It's interesting to see how our team responds after the other team scores, so let's see what Marquette's offense can do here.
Here's the give to Angelo Cross, the fullback, working the right side inside the 40. Down to about the 37-yard line, a gain of 3 on that carry. Marquette, I'll tell you what, if Coach Rogers were here tonight, he'd really be happy because he likes that fullback dive, doesn't he?
Yeah, he likes that fullback belly, as we always called it, where you just turn around as a quarterback, give it to the fullback, and let him run. And that's what Marquette's been doing. I'm kind of surprised, actually, because they've got 2 quick scat backs, as we call them, 2 wing backs that can really move, and that's Brimage and Jones.
2nd down and 6 for the Explorers, just outside the 36 of the Knights. Brimage in motion to the left side, and now they run the option to the left side, and Eberlin keeps it himself, turns it up inside the 35, down to about the 32-yard line. That'll go as a gain of 4, and a nice read there by Keenan Eberlin, the junior quarterback.
That was a very nice option, one of the nicer ones I've seen tonight especially. But what Keenan did well is he turned that ball up. The only thing that would have made that better was he had a halfback outside ready for the pitch, and in that triple option what you do is you fake the fullback through, you as a quarterback you take it around the end, and then if the defense comes up on you, you pitch it out to the back going to the outside.
3rd and 2 Explorers at the 32 of the Knights. Here's the give. Cross, first down yardage, and then some. Angelo Cross down inside the 25, down to the 22-yard line. And a gain on that carry of 10 for Angelo Cross, and the 4th first down of the night for the Explorers.
And as we've alluded to, this is a big series for the Explorers. They've got 5 minutes left, 5 minutes plus left in the quarter, in the half. And they let the Knights get back into the game with that last series. So at 10-7, Marquette really needs to come out and score this series.
And the Knights want a timeout. 5:37 remaining in the half. Marquette 10, the Knights 7. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
Do you want to earn interest and still have easy access to your money? Meridian Bank offers 4 interest-bearing accounts: Money Market, Meridian Star, Now Account, and Super Now Account. Choose the account that fits your financial needs. Rates vary based on the account and balance. Stop by and ask for details. The smart way to financial success is at Meridian Bank on West 3rd Street in downtown Alton. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lenders.
Make life easy for yourself at the United Methodist Village.
With no more stairs and no more home upkeep in a spacious apartment or villa home, with no upfront endowment and just one monthly fee, you stay in control of your finances. Now that's easy and smart. Countryside living that is fun, neighborly, and only minutes from the Clark Bridge. The United Methodist Village, where living is easy.
I only wish I'd have moved here sooner.
The Marquette Explorers on the march, leading 10-7, trying to answer the Metro East Lutheran Knights touchdown. That came with 7:16 remaining in the half. We're down to 5:37 remaining in the half. 1st and 10, Marquette. We'll call it the 23 of the Knights. They put Travis Jones in motion to the right side and give it to Utley, the fullback, and Utley has good running room. Utley down inside the 15 to the 14-yard line.
This is a very nice-looking series right now, Sam. I'm very impressed with Keenan Eberlin and the way he's running this Marquette offense. I mean, this is his first varsity start, and being the quarterback out there is not an easy job. Plus, he's missed a few practices in the past couple weeks. Nothing serious or anything, but he's back, he's healthy, and he's doing a good job.
After the 8-yard gain by Utley, 2nd and 2, Explorers. And here's the give once again. Utley to the right side. Utley down to the 10-yard line. First down yardage for the Explorers. A gain on that carry of 4. And I'll tell you what, I've always liked the way Utley runs. Not only is he low and hard to bring down, but he's got a burst.
He does. He's got a very deceptive speed. And like I said, he's the prototypical fullback. John Rogers would have loved him because of his low stature. He's hard to knock down. He runs hard.
1st and goal, Marquette just inside the 10 of the Knights. Brimage in motion to the left side. They give to Utley, this time working the left side. And Utley that time with a short gain down to the 8-yard line, a gain of 2. Utley now 4 carries for 14 yards, and Utley's had the last 3 carries as Angelo Cross, who also plays defense, is getting a breather on the near sideline from that fullback position. But as I said earlier, Utley saw considerable action last year from the fullback slot, so it's not a position foreign to him.
No, not at all. And like we said, experience is very important. He did play there a lot last year, and he's played there in the underclass level, and he's good.
2nd and goal at the 8 for the Explorers, and again, it's Utley, and Utley stays on his feet and takes it down to the 5-yard line. Then a flag thrown. Actually, it was Travis Jones on the carry on a counter.
Yeah,
they faked it to Utley, and then a flag right at the tackle.
What that was, Sam, Coach calls that his halfback belly, and it's similar to his fullback belly. On the fullback belly, they give to the fullback going off guard. The halfback comes around, they fake it to that fullback going off guard, and they hand it to the halfback who then goes off tackle. And that's exactly what it was. The Knights actually did a good job defending that.
Jones picked up 3 to just inside the 5, and then it was a face mask penalty against the Knights. Half the distance to the goal line. They take it down to just inside the 3, and it's 3rd and goal. It'll actually be 2nd and goal for the Explorers right there, as they will replay the down. Right 2nd and goal at the 2 for Marquette. Brimage in motion to the left side. They give it to Utley, working the left side, and Utley takes it down near the goal line and apparently not in. He picked up 2 and needed 2.5, so they'll put it down just shy of the goal line. It'll be 3rd and goal for the Explorers right there.
Well, and I was about to say, Sam, on the 2-yard line with a what we used to call affectionately, this is not derogatory, a bowling ball of a fullback, because he's shaped like a bowling ball, short and round and powerful. You could have expected that they're going to give it to the fullback, and I would not be surprised if once again they give it to the fullback, because it's on about the half-yard line.
3rd and goal for the Explorers right there. Utley, the lone setback with wings left and right. Double tight end set, and it's Keenan Eberlin on the quarterback sneak, and he's in for the touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown plunge by Keenan Eberlin, and the Explorers add to their lead. It's now 16-7.
And that's a good call by the coach, and I'll tell you why. Because there's only one exchange: the center to the quarterback. The quarterback keeps it and tries to get the ball in, which in this case he did. If the quarterback takes that ball and tries to hand off to the fullback, more times than not that will happen. But sometimes you have that fumble that ensues, and that was a good call by coach.
Now Zach Keenan will attempt the extra point out of the hold of Keenan Eberlin. They line it up. And whistles prior to the snap, and let's see what this is all about. Illegal procedure against the Explorers, a 5-yard walk-off. Marquette has been penalized 5 times for 35 yards, and that's probably their biggest negative here in the first half.
Absolutely, and that's one of the negatives you always look for in a first game. That's expected. It's not that it's acceptable, but it is expected in the first game.
So now what amounts to a 25-yard extra point attempt, 5 yards longer than usual. High snap. Eberlin gets it down. The kick is up. It's high. It's plenty long, and it's good. 2:59 remaining in the first half. The score now, Marquette 17, Metro East Lutheran 7. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
Do you want to earn interest and still have easy access to your money? Meridian Bank offers 4 interest-bearing accounts: Money Market, Meridian Star, Now Account, and Super Now Account. Choose the account that fits your financial needs. Rates vary based on the account and balance. Stop by and ask for details. The smart way to financial success is at Meridian Bank on West 3rd Street in downtown Alton. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lenders.
Zach Keenan set to kick it away once again for the Explorers. High end-over-end kick, and it will be returned from the 4 as the return man fumbles it a bit. Finally on his way out across the 15. He will not reach the 20 as a host of Explorer tacklers were there to bring down the Knight return man.
And you're right about that being a host of tacklers. I tell you what the Knights have to look at is who's up front blocking on their kickoff returns, because right now no one's up front blocking.
That was Niemeyer on the return, and they give him forward progress to the 19. 1st and 10 for the Knights there on Metro East Lutheran's last possession. They drove the length of the field for a touchdown to cut the Marquette lead to just 3, but the Explorers answered with a 40-yard touchdown drive of their own.
And that was a nice answer by Marquette. But I tell you what, that series last time for the Knights, everything went to the right side, and here they come out again going to the right side.
And this time it doesn't work. This time the Explorers stayed home, and Brindleson on that carry trying to sweep the right side might have picked up 2 at the most. Well, as the Explorers strung it out well and then made the tackle.
Absolutely, and I guarantee you that the coaches up on top of the box here are yelling down to the coaches on the sideline about what's going on and about their left linebacker being sucked in all the time, and I'm sure they're telling him to stay outside, stay outside.
6-8. 2nd down and 8 for the Knights from their own 21. Here they run a counter, big hole right up the middle, and 1st down yardage and then some out across the 35 to the 37-yard line, and that was Niemeyer on the carry that time. And he picks up, let's call it 15 on that carry.
Yeah, that was a very nice play. And again, as you said, Sam, it was a counter. And what they did is they faked the ball one way, come back the opposite way, and they found a big hole there to run through.
7 first downs on the night for Metro East Lutheran. 1st and 10 from their own 36. Langendorf, quick pass out to the left side, incomplete. Intended out there for Wise, and Wise had his feet go out from underneath him as he tried to make the catch out at about the 41-yard line. And I don't know if he's hurt or he's upset with himself. I think he hurt himself, hurt his hand or forearm as he went to the turf trying to make a sliding catch.
Well, sometimes, Sam, when a receiver misses a ball that he thinks he should have caught, he comes up and looks like he's hurt. I'm not saying the kid wasn't hurt badly by any means. He's still out there, but I think he was more mad at himself.
2nd and 10 Knights from their own 36. Niemeyer in motion to the left side, and they give it on a draw play to Brindleson, and then flags fly as Brindleson drags tacklers with him all the way out to the 39-yard line. Brindleson was hit at the line of scrimmage and just kept those legs churning and picked up 4 on the carry But now we'll check the flag, and it's probably not good news for the Knights.
No, it's going to be holding.
Oh, it's a face mask against the Explorers. They must have grabbed a face mask.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Brindleson came through the hole. So they'll walk it off from the end of the 4-yard run and another 5 yards. And they start to move the chains, but I don't think they should. It was not a first down.
It's going to be 2nd and 1.
2nd and 1 after the 5-yard pickup by Brindleson and the 5-yard walk-off.
I said I didn't see that, but I'm not saying it didn't happen because it was in tight, but I'm sure that the refs got that right.
6 penalties in the first half against the Explorers on 2nd and 1. Quick pass out to the right side to Wise. He makes a sliding catch at the 49 of the Explorers. A gain of 6 on that carry, or on that reception, and another first down for the Knights. Their 8th of the night.
Well, what Marquette wants to do right now is shut this down. They want to go in leading 17-7 at the half, and they cannot let the Knights march down the field with a minute and a half left and score.
1st and 10, Metro East Lutheran at the Marquette 49-yard line. Pitch to the left side, and now Brindleson trying to sweep that left side. Turns the corner inside the 40 of the Explorers and run out of bounds by Angelo Cross all the way down at the 39. A pickup of 11 on that carry and another first down for Metro East Lutheran. Their 9th here in the first half.
Yeah, and when you're running a 3-4 defense, your outside linebackers, your cornerback, and your safety have got to come up and shut that play down. And right now, on the in the running game at least, the Knights are having it their way when they try to go outside.
1st and 10 at the Marquette 39. We're down to 1:20 and counting remaining. Actually, the clock stopped. 1:20 remaining here in the first half. Metro East Lutheran pitches to Brindleson. Lots of running room to the right side. Keenan Eberlin finally tracks him down. And only Eberlin's speed was able to keep that from being a much bigger gainer as Brindleson took it down to the 32-yard line, a gain of 7 as it was.
Well, and that's the same play they've run over and over. They've got a twin-set backfield, which means 2 halfbacks lined up. What they do is they have a wing, which is a wing tight left. The wing goes in motion right, and all they do is they pitch the ball out to the right halfback. He follows the wing around right end. They pull the tackle on the right side. He gets outside there too, and Marquette for some reason has nobody out there.
Well, for some reason they've stopped the clock, and the officials have conferred, and now the referee comes to the linesman here on the near side. And I think what happened was that actually Brindleson was run out of bounds on the far sideline, and that's now they may be trying to determine how much time they want on the clock. It stopped now with 1 minute remaining. There was 1:20 at the start of that play, and now they're trying to signal how much time they want. 1:11 maybe. 1:12 or something.
1:12. Try
1:12 is what they're looking for.
When you play sports like football, injuries are going to happen. That's why more area schools count on the Human Motion Institute's sports medicine pros to keep their athletes healthy and in the game. Our certified athletic trainers are part of the team, assessing and treating injuries right on the field. And if serious injury occurs, they're backed by an expert team of Alton Memorial Hospital surgeons and therapists. The Human Motion Institute at Alton Memorial Hospital. We're part of the team.
And that's exactly what they've done. They put 1:12 on the clock. 2nd down and a long 3 for the Knights at the Marquette 32-yard line. A wing to the right, a receiver to the left, and back to throw is Langendorf. He lets it go down the middle. He's got his man. A completion down to the Marquette 16-yard line. A 16-yard completion, making the reception was number 15, I thought it was, and I don't see him on the roster.
No, and
or was it 12? Might have been 12, Logan Taylor. But at any rate, a first down for the Knights. And on the play, 1st and 10 Knights, and a quick pass out to the right side, broken up, incomplete. Zach Keenan on defense for the Explorers
and that
there.
was a very nice play by Keenan. He came across with his right arm and broke that pass up. That was picture perfect by Zach Keenan.
So 2nd and 10 Knights. with 58 seconds remaining.
Well, if I'm the Knights, I put wing tight left. I put that wing in motion right. I pitch the ball to the right halfback and let him just run behind that wing and the pulling right tackle, because every time they've done that, they've gotten 12 to 17 yards, it seems.
A big series here. 2nd and 10 Knights at the Marquette 16. Here's the give to Brindleson, and he's brought down for a loss. They tried to run. Well, they faked it to the fullback up the middle and then gave it on a bit of a delay to Brindleson as he tried to get outside to the right side. The left side of the Marquette defensive line came across the line of scrimmage and threw Brindleson for a loss of a yard.
Yeah, that was well played by the Marquette defense. And again, you know, with the time running out, the Knights need to go back to the plays that they've had the most success with, and that's especially that little pitch out to the halfback. To either side, really, but especially to the right side.
And facing 3rd and 11, the Knights use a timeout. The line of scrimmage is the Marquette 18-yard line with 49 seconds remaining in the half. Well, Metro East Lutheran on their first several possessions shot themselves in the foot with a couple of fumbles and a blocked punt. Marquette managed to turn that into 10 points. And then the Knights finally, early in the second quarter, held on to the football, drove the length of the field, cut the Marquette lead to 3. The Explorers answered with a touchdown drive of their own to extend it to 10. And now the Knights are trying to answer right back. And this could be a big point in this game, because if the Explorers can take a 10-point lead in at halftime and get the football to start the second half, they could, maybe put some distance between themselves and the Knights. But if Metro East Lutheran can put it in here and draw to within 3 at halftime, who knows what the second half will bring.
Well, that's exactly right. And Metro East will have the momentum. Even though they'll be down, they'll have the momentum, and Marquette will be hanging their heads a little bit.
3rd and 11, Langendorf back to throw, rolling to his right under pressure, lets it go and completes it down to about the 2-yard line. He threw into traffic, and the receiver, McCall, brought it down at the 3-yard line, good for 13 yards on the play.
That was a good play as it turned out for the Knights. It was a dangerous play. There's no way that ball should have been caught. Marquette had too many kids around it who just watched it get caught. If nothing else, Marquette should have, they should have picked it off possibly, but at least they should have knocked it down. But instead they stood there and watched the kid catch it.
Another timeout on the field, 40 seconds remaining in the first half. 1st and goal, Knights at the Marquette 3-yard line. Marquette leading 17-7. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
The sun always rises, your dog will always love you, and the tax man always shows up. There are just some things in life you know you can depend on. So when you're ready to depend on someone for your life insurance, depend on me, Tom Lane, your local State Farm agent. We may already insure your car and home, but your life insurance is one of the things that matters the most. For more information, contact my office in Bethalto at 377-8912 or online at tomlaneagency.net.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The exchange, and Langendorf goes down. May have lost the football, but he covered it as Angelo Cross was right there. But Langendorf got tangled up with his center, I think, and it ends up being a loss of 4.
He's lucky he kept that ball, but it was a loss of 4, a big play for Marquette.
Actually, a loss of 5 back to the 8. 2nd and goal there. Langendorf rolling to his right and just throws that one away, and that has to be intentional grounding, doesn't it?
That has to be intentional grounding, Sam.
He just threw it about 3 yards out of bounds. No receiver anywhere near. And
unless they have the same rules as the NFL does, and you would think I would know, but I don't.
But he didn't
if you're outside the tackle, you can throw the ball away like that.
Well,
at least in the NFL.
Yeah, but it didn't cross the line of scrimmage. And the NFL rule is even if you're outside the tackle box, if you don't throw it across the line of scrimmage, it's intentional grounding. At any rate, he threw it away.
Yeah, he got away with it, whatever.
And that stopped the clock with 15 seconds remaining. 3rd and goal, Knights at the Marquette 8-yard line. Langendorf under center, puts a man in motion to the left side. Takes a snap, pitches back to Brindleson, and Brindleson's caught from behind and brought down at the line of scrimmage, no gain. And the Knights will use their final timeout to try to set up a field goal attempt. On the tackle there for the Explorers was Brad Imming.
Yeah, that was a nice play by the junior Brad Emming. He's a nice little ball player, been playing linebacker all game. First time we've mentioned his name, but that doesn't mean he hasn't been playing hard and making some tackles. But that was a big stop, and right now with 5.9 left on the clock, this play is very important because Marquette either goes in with the 17-7 lead or it could be cut to 17-14 unless they come out and try that field goal like you said, Sam. I'm not sure they're going to, but they just might.
Well, it would only be about 5 yards longer than an extra point. And on their extra point attempt, the kicker appeared to have plenty of legs.
He did show a good leg, you're right.
I don't know that...
well, it makes sense. I mean, it makes sense to get 3 points right now and make it 17-10 and take some momentum into the locker room at halftime.
We'll see what Kevin Arca decides here as he sends his team back out.
Yeah, they're
going to
try it. I see the holder carrying the block, so they're going to try the field goal. Now, Marquette has to be careful here, too, not to jump offside.
They're very nearly in the middle of the field. And it will be Joe McCall, to attempt what amounts to a 25-yard field goal. And now the Explorers will take a timeout and try to ice the kicker. And it could be that Coach Nelson also is going to caution his team, don't do anything silly here. We'll take our chances on a field goal attempt, but we don't want to give them a free 5 and give them a chance from inside the 5-yard line.
Right.
What do I need to do to sell you a car today?
Stop by Roberts Motors in Alton, Illinois.
And now I've thrown a couple of incomplete passes. Well, one incomplete pass and one running play for no gain. And now, following a Metro East Lutheran timeout, they showed field goal attempt, but let's see what they show here. And I think they may have changed. No, they still are going to try the field goal. Langendorf is the holder, the quarterback, and you got to watch out for that too.
Sure.
When you've got the quarterback holding, you got to watch for the fake. But this is a 25-yard attempt from inside the left hash mark. High snap. Langendorf gets it down. The kick is up high, long, plenty long, and it's good. And that comes with 2.3 seconds remaining here in the first half and cuts the Marquette lead to 7.
Well, I'll tell you what, you Metro right now, you don't want to kick that ball long because Marquette's got 2 running backs back there in Brimage and Jones, who either one can take that back to the house, as we used to call it. And so therefore, if I was the Knights, I would squib kick it and make Marquette fall on it.
Well, it's been an interesting first half. Metro East Lutheran stumbled out of the gate with a couple of turnovers and a blocked punt and gave Marquette great field position, and the Explorers, who might have jumped out to a 21-0 lead, were at least able to convert that to 10 points, jumped out to the 10-0 lead, and then Metro East Lutheran cut it to 10-7. Marquette extended it to 17-7, and now the Knights, running out of time, kick a field goal with 2 seconds remaining in the first half and lead it 17-10, and the only thing to be seen here is whether the Explorers can shake Travis Jones or Cecil Brimage loose, and whether the Knights might just squib kick the ball. I guess you could even kick it out of bounds, and even though Marquette would get it like at the 40-yard
they
line.
They would still get one play, though. So.
Yeah, well, they'd get a play, but...
No, you want to kick it in the middle of the field, make Marquette handle the ball, and run that 2.3 off right now.
So Joe McCall tees the ball. Well, it's not McCall kicking off. It's Logan Taylor kicking off. And, they kick it deep. Unbelievable. Cecil Brimage from his own 11. Brimage to the 20, to the 30, and knocked off his feet at the 32-yard line. Well, they blew the whistle, though, and said his knee went down at the 32.
Okay.
And that'll end the first half. At halftime, it's Marquette 17, Metro East Lutheran 10. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports. RiverBender.com's live coverage of tonight's game is brought to you by Meridian Bank, large enough to serve all your banking needs, small enough to care about you. Alton Memorial Hospital, the best health care close to home. Tom Lane State Farm, your good neighbor agent in the Riverbend. Roberts Motors, the value store since 1949. Gerard Fisher American Family Insurance, all your protection under one roof. Weber Granite City Chevrolet. St. Anthony's Health Center, innovation, commitment, compassion. First Cloverleaf Bank, we're better together. Alton Sports Tap, sports, food, and good times. And by the Bank of Edwardsville, the people you know and trust. With Mike Slaughter, Sam Stem back at Public School Stadium in Alton, all set for second half action. Marquette leading Metro East Lutheran 17-10. The Explorers trying to make it a successful debut for new head coach Tim Nelson. We haven't talked much about the new coach, but his playing days go back to Calhoun. Under what did he play under? Rick Johns?
Rick Johns. He played for Rick Johns, and he did play on one state championship team there at Calhoun. He then got into coaching under Reinhardt, Coach Reinhardt last year, and learned the system that he's now running.
Rick Reinhardt went home, went to Tuscola, which played for the 1A championship last year.
Yeah, so. And probably a good move for him in the twilight of his career.
Cecil Brimage from the 11 for the Explorers, out across the 20 to the 30, eludes a tackler, 35 to the 40, tries to find the right sideline across midfield and steps out of bounds at about the 48 of the Knights, and another good kickoff return by Cecil Brimage, and I have a hunch he'll break a few this year.
Oh, I think so too, and so too is his running mate back there, Jones. Travis Jones is going to break some. That right there, kickoff returns and punt returns are going to be very big weapons for Marquette this year.
So they said Cecil stepped out just across midfield, so we'll call the line of scrimmage the 49 of the Knights. 1st and 10 for the Explorers right there, and let's see if Marquette can get the offense untracked. The Explorer offense in the first half put up only 85 yards in total offense, despite scoring 17 points. Brimage in motion to the left side, and the give is to the fullback, cross right up the middle. Good running room inside the 45 down to the 43-yard line. A gain of about 6 on that carry for Angelo Cross.
And that's the same play that Marquette started the game with. Just a fullback belly given to the quarterback turns, gives to the fullback, and in this case, Angelo picked up 8 yards. I'm not surprised that the new coach Tim Nelson is running a bunch of fullback bellies. He's getting his feet wet. He's learning his ways, but I do think he'll get a little bit more. Specialized in terms of using halfbacks and throwing the ball downfield.
Now Brimage sweeping the left side. Brimage steps through a tackler to the 40. Flag flies inside the 30 down to the 25. And the Explorers may be hurt once again by the penalty flag. Brimage on that carry made a dandy move at the line of scrimmage and ended up taking it for 18 yards all the way down to the 25. But there's a flag lying back at the Marquette 44, another at the 39. And the officials talk things over, but this will send the Explorers backwards.
Well, that'll most certainly be either a holding or a illegal block, such as a
chop block.
Crackback
that's
block. That's exactly what it was.
And that'll be a big one.
You know, and the unfortunate thing is, 2 of Brimage's biggest runs from scrimmage have both been beautiful runs, but they've both been called back.
So they'll walk that off. There were 2 flags down, so we'll see where the spot of the foul was. And the referee says it's back here. Unfortunately, at the 44, there was a flag at the 39, another at the 44, and they'll walk it off from the 44. A 15-yard walk-off.
But besides the penalty, that's what I was talking about with Coach Nelson using his other backs a lot more. It's safe, let's put it that way, to use the fullback time and time again until you get comfortable. But he'll start using Jones and Brimage and the other halfbacks. He's got a lot more. And who knows, he may even throw the ball every now and then.
He didn't talk to Coach Rogers over the summer, did he?
I think he must have.
2nd and 20 for the Explorers from their own 40. They give it to the fullback Cross, and he picks up a yard out to the 41, and it's going to be 3rd and 19.
Yeah, and there again was a case of Angelo going east and west instead of north and south. Now, I know he got hit at the line and got forced out that way, but he's got to lower those shoulders a little bit better. You know, one thing about Utley is Utley's so low that it's hard for guys to tackle him. Angelo's got to learn to run lower, as we call it, and that's just a matter of bringing your shoulder pads down and making the defenders bounce off your shoulder pads.
And making yourself a smaller target.
Absolutely.
3rd and 19, almost 20 for the Explorers from their own 41-yard line. This drive started at the 49 of the Knights. Receivers left and right, and back to throw. Keenan Eberlin looking out to the left side, now feeling some pressure. Now he lets it go down the left side. He's got Travis Jones, and it's a first down for the Explorers all the way down at the 23, and then a flag is thrown at the end of the play. And a dandy throw by Keenan Eberlin, a nice catch by Travis Jones. And then I think they're going to tack some yardage on after the play.
Well, I'm hoping it's against the Knights, but I'm not sure. I saw one of our linemen down there, and I don't know if he made an illegal block. I don't think he did, but we'll find out.
Well, they've already moved the sticks. Somebody needs to talk to the chain gang because you can't move the sticks until you find out it's going to be a personal foul against the Knights. So that'll tack on half the distance to the goal line. 10, 20, 38 yards on the completion from Eberlin to Jones.
Well, that was a dandy throw by Eberlin. Keenan did a good job avoiding the pass rush and then getting that ball off, and he got it to Jones. Unfortunately, Jones had to wait for the ball, otherwise he would have scored. But even yet, it was a dandy throw by Keenan, and again, Marquette first down.
And after the walk-off for the personal foul, 1st and goal Explorers at the 9 of the Knights. And here's the give to Cross right up the middle. Angelo Cross on his feet inside to 5, down to about the 3-yard line.
Well, you've gotten so used to watching the fullback that you didn't see the fact that he pulled it out of the fullback's belly and gave it to the halfback on what they're calling the halfback belly.
And that was Travis Jones.
That's where the halfback goes one hole wider than what the fullback went, and that was Travis Jones who took it down to about the 4-yard line.
Well, your eyes are a little younger than mine, too.
Well, and I also
had
the benefit of I spoke with Coach this week and asked him what he's going to run. And so I knew he's going to run the fullback belly and this halfback belly, as he's calling it, and that's what I'm looking for right now.
So after the 5-yard gain by Travis Jones, 2nd and goal for the Explorers at the 4. Keenan Eberlin under center. Long count, takes a snap, gives it on the counter. Travis Jones, big hole, but he can't burst through it. He took it down to about the 2. Somebody for the Knights closed quickly.
That
hole was huge, and a 2-yard pickup by Travis Jones brings about 3rd and goal at the 2.
Well, and Jones is the fastest kid on the Marquette team, and I wish from up here I could see the number of the Knight who made the tackle, because he made a great play on that.
Boy, when Jones got the football, we had the perfect angle, and I mean, there was nobody between him and the goal line, and you thought he'd walk in. And just as he crossed the line of scrimmage, that defender closed. 3rd and goal at the 2. Eberlin under center puts Jones in motion to the right. The give is to Cross. Angelo Cross in for the touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown run by Angelo Cross. He was hit just shy of the goal line, but powered his way in, and the Explorers build on their lead.
And that was a great series for Marquette. Job well done by Coach and by, of course, the players out there. But that is so important, as you keep alluding to, Sam, with the Rogers theorem. You know, you come out at the start of the second half, and you got to. Well, it's important to score, and Marquette just did that.
So the 3rd touchdown of the night for the Explorers. The first one by Zach Keenan, the second one by Keenan Eberlin, and now Angelo Cross. And Keenan's extra point attempt is blocked. So that's no good.
No, there was about 4 guys in on that, and I tell you what, that blocking's got to hold up on that. Now, I will say this, the Marquette offensive line's been doing a good job, but all those kids out there right now on the extra point team, even though a number of them might be starting offensive linemen, some of them are not, and the kid who blocked it came from the outside, which in most cases that means that the left halfback who's lined up right outside the tight end on the left side has to make that block, and he did not.
8:25 remaining in the 3rd quarter. The score now, Marquette 23, Metro East Lutheran 10. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
Take a look at the latest J.D. Power and Associates insurance certifications for customer satisfaction. Know what each certified agency has in common?
Each is with American Family Insurance.
In fact, American Family Agencies are the first agency certified by J.D. Power and Associates.
According to our policyholders, our agents deliver an outstanding customer experience.
American Family Insurance.
All your protection
under one roof.
Call me, Gerard Fisher, at 466-7062 or stop by 3014 Godfrey Road.
Zach Keenan set to kick it away for the Explorers, and here's a dandy kick, high end over end. It lands at the goal line and rolls into the end zone. Automatic touchback. 1st and 10 Knights at their own 20.
And that's what Coach has been looking for from Zach Keenan, the kick into the end zone. You know, back in the day when we had a kid named Hendrick kicking for us.
That happened every time, didn't it?
That was a huge weapon when he would put that ball in the end zone every time, and that makes the other team go 80 yards. And in high school football, going 80 yards is very tough to do.
Did you guys ever coach kick coverage when Hendrick was the kicker?
We didn't coach kick coverage, and we didn't coach Hendrick either. We just let him go.
Let him go. And it worked.
It worked, yeah. Sometimes you got those kind of kids where all you can do by coaching them is mess them up. So just let them go, and, we all know what he did.
1st and 10 Knights from their own 20, then now trail by 13. That's their biggest deficit of the night. And on the first down play, Andrew Langendorf gives it on the inside handoff, and good running room for Joe McCall. Out across the 25, out to near the 30-yard line. And if they put it down on the 30, it's a first down. It is. 1st and 10 Knights at their own 30.
Well, and again, it's a key, how the defense comes out. After the offense goes down the field and scores, it's really important that the defense comes out all fired up and shuts down the other team's offense to get that ball back to your offense. So we need to see a Marquette defense step it up here.
11 first downs on the night for Metro East Lutheran. They put Niemeyer in motion to the left side, and Langendorf drops to throw over the middle, and he undershot an open receiver out at the 44-yard line. That was Niemeyer. It'll be 2nd and 10.
I saw Langendorf play quarterback last year as a junior, and I'm very impressed with him, and I'm impressed with him tonight too. But what I'm seeing right now, at least in the first game, and this is not unusual, is that he and his receivers do not quite have their timing down. And a number of times he has thrown to his receivers, and he's been low, making them slide to make a sliding catch, which, of course, then they get no yardage after the catch. And that yardage after the catch is always so important.
2nd down and 10, Metro East Lutheran from their own 30. They trail by 13 early third quarter. Langendorf gives it on the handoff. McCall right up the middle. Lots of running room. First down yardage across the 40, out to the 44-yard line. And a pickup of 14 on that carry for Joe McCall.
Well, what's happening right now with the Marquette defense is Marquette being in that 3-4 lineup. The nose guard, which is Mitch Woolner, he's being trapped. And by being trapped with a lineman coming who he does not see coming, that opens up that middle. And right now they're getting good yardage up the middle, whereas the first half there was nothing there.
The clock rolling with 7:45 remaining in the third quarter. Marquette leading 23-10. 1st and 10 Knights from their own 44. A man in motion to the right side. That's Niemeyer. And back to throw Langendorf. Has time. Lets it go out to the right side and broken up by Cecil Brimage, who put a hit on the intended receiver. And for a moment, I thought maybe Brimage would go up and try to make the pick. Christian Wise was the intended receiver, but I think Brimage played it well.
Well, he did play it well. The thing is, the Knights almost got lucky on that. When it was broken up, it was deflected, and it almost got deflected to another receiver for the Knights. But again, it was well played by the defense. What Marquette's defense needs to do, though, which is tough in a 3-4 lineup, is get more pressure on the quarterback. And basically, the only way with a 3-down lineman you'll get pressure on the quarterback is to send your linebackers. So I expect to see Coach start sending some linebackers more.
2nd and 10, Knights from their own 44. Here's the give on the inside hand. No, they gave it that time to Brindleson. And Brindleson tried to get outside to the right side, and it didn't work that time. Looks like maybe Marquette adjusted because that play just killed him in the first half. And that'll go as a loss of about a half yard and bring about 3rd and long.
That was a nice tackle by Jesse Bowman. Jesse's a senior playing football this year for Marquette. Did not come out last year as a junior, but from what I understand from Coach, he's playing well. He's a big, tough kid, and that was a nice play.
Third down, 3rd and 11, Metro East Lutheran from their own 43. Approaching the midway point of the third quarter, Marquette led by 7 at the half. Scored on their first possession here in the third quarter and lead by 13. On the 3rd and 11 play, Langendorf keeps it himself. He wants to throw and lets it go downfield, incomplete. He overshot everybody as the Explorers had good coverage. And I will give the Marquette secondary good marks here tonight because when Langendorf has tried to throw, he's had to thread the needle or else throw it away.
Well, the Marquette secondary, they've got their quickest kids back there. And we being Marquette, of course, we have some speed. And we keep on mentioning, Brimage and Jones. But the other kids back there, they've got good speed. Zach Keenan, for example, who we've talked about as a kicker, he's a good receiver and a good defensive back. And he's got some of the best speed on the team.
Brimage and Jones standing back at their own 25, awaiting this punt attempt. We say attempt, this is only the second time tonight the Knights have been in punt formation. The first punt was blocked. He gets this one away, and it's going to be Travis Jones making a fair catch at about his own 27-yard line. And the Explorers will start their second possession of the second half right there, leading 23-10, and now this is where you need to have that killer instinct and put them away.
Absolutely. If they can drive down now, not only will they run time off the clock, but they will just about put them away. I'm going to go back to Travis Jones's fair catch. That's a very smart play. Sometimes people don't realize that, but when you fair catch it and maintain the ball right there, we one time did a study, or someone did a study, and the information got back to me as a head coach, that when a team lets that punt hit the ground and roll, it rolls for about 17 yards on average.
Wow. 28-yard line for the Explorers. 1st and 10 right there. Double tight end set, double wing formation. Travis Jones in motion to the right side. And the keeper is Keenan.
It is
Eberlin.
The quarterback. It's Eberlin.
Yeah, Keenan Eberlin kept it himself after faking the handoff and faking a pitch. And he takes it out to the 30-yard line for a gain of 2.
Yeah, and like I was saying with that fair catch, so on average, if you do catch it, a fair catch right there,
it's like gaining 17 yards.
You've gained at 17 yards, you're in a better position than you would have been. So sometimes I couldn't get my punt receivers to do that, but it's so important.
2nd down and 8, Marquette from their own 30-yard line. 5:50 and counting remaining in the third quarter, and. Everybody went except the center. He didn't snap the ball.
Yeah, that's the first time Mark Harrison's going to get his name mentioned now because he forgot to snap the ball. And I was just about to say, Sam, we're in a position right now in the first game of the season, even though it's a relatively nice night. It's still humid down there on the field, and the kids right now are starting to feel it. They're getting tired. They're perspiring quite a bit. They need to get some fluids in them. But right now they're going to start making some mental mistakes that comes with the fatigue.
We're sitting up here way up top in the press box with the windows open and a nice little breeze coming through my window. Your window doesn't open. But down there in this bowl, there's not much air moving down there, is there?
No, not at all.
Double tight, double wing. Travis Jones in motion to the right side, and the give to Jones following his fullback, and not much there. Travis Jones picked up about 3, maybe 2 or 3, from the 35. From the 25 out to, they gave him good forward progress out to the 29, and it's going to bring about 3rd and 9.
3rd and 9, yeah, so we just might see Keenan Eberlin put the ball up again. But, of course, everyone's expecting that, so, maybe Coach will come back with something different. But anyhow, right now the offensive line's got to get those holes opened up for the halfbacks to run through.
Well, now they finally put the ball down at the 28, so that was a gain of 3 by Travis Jones, and 3rd and 10 for the Explorers from their own 28-yard line. Travis Jones in motion to the right side, receivers left and right, and Eberlin rolls to his right, eludes a tackler. Now he lets it go downfield, and it is incomplete. In and out of the hands of Zach Keenan, and Keenan wants a flag. And there is a flag.
Yeah,
a flag at the 45. Boy, what a throw by Keenan Eberlin.
That was a very nice throw.
He threw that on the run, threw it about 30 yards downfield, and hit Eberlin in the hands. But the flag on the play, as apparently the defender got there just a hair early. We'll wait for the official indication. But if it is indeed defensive pass interference, that'll be a 15-yard walk-off and a first down for the Explorers.
And so far,
or did they pick the flag up?
I don't think they picked it up, but obviously, in high school football, you don't get it at the spot of the infraction,
Right.
so it'll come down and then they'll march it off.
But the Explorers are walking back. All right, they are going to walk off yardage.
Walk it off.
So the Explorers walked up, walked back, and now they're going to walk up again. So there is the 15-yard walk-off for pass interference against the Knights. That's their fourth penalty of the night for a total of 43 yards. Marquette, on the other hand, has been penalized 8 times for 60 yards, most of those penalties on offense, and it's really staggered them from time to time. They overcome a penalty here with the help of a penalty, and now here's the give to Utley right up the middle. Utley, big hole across midfield to the 46 of the Knights. A pickup of 11 and another first down for Marquette, and Utley was one step from breaking that one.
He was. And like I said, and I say it affectionately, he's just a little bowling ball who goes through that line, and I tell you what, he's going to break some, because sometimes you're not looking for that fullback. All of a sudden he hits it quick, and he's up that gut, and he's gone.
1st and 10, Marquette. That was their 9th first down of the night. They still trail the Knights in that statistical category. Metro East Lutheran has 12 to 9 for the Explorers, but the good news here is the Explorers are running clock.
Well, they better call timeout, because they're going to delay a game right here.
Metro East Lutheran scored, or rather Marquette scored with 8:25 remaining, and now with 4:07 remaining, they're on the drive again. 1st and 10 at the 46 of the Knights. Pitch back to Brimage. Brimage turns it upfield and then just puts his head down and powers forward down to the 41-yard line. What I like about watching Brimage run is that he makes that wide turn and surveys the field looking for an opening, and then when he sees it, he explodes to it. That time it closed down, then he put his head down and gained 5.
But Sam, I was just about to say, and you and I must be thinking too much alike, because I was about to say, do you get the impression every time Brimage touches the ball that he could take it all the way?
Yes, you do. And I'll tell you what, he reminds you a lot of Zerwas.
He does.
Jared Zerwas last year ran the same way. And you almost get the feeling that Brimage watched him and said, hey, it works for him, I'm going to do it too.
Yeah.
Travis Jones in motion to the right side, and it's going to be Eberlin up the middle as he followed his fullback. The quarterback gains a couple on that carry.
Only gained a couple, but it was a very good call.
Well, it was a gain of 3, actually, down to the 38-yard line, and brings about 3rd and 2. But it also keeps the defense honest.
It does. That's what I mean. It keeps that defense honest. You keep hitting them with the fullback. This time the fullback goes through, and the quarterback follows him. And, that was a nice play.
And it keeps the clock rolling.
And right now, that's what Marquette wants to do, is keep that clock rolling.
2:40 and counting remaining third quarter. Marquette leading by 13. 3rd and 2 at the 38 of the Knights. And the give to Utley. He's hit at the line of scrimmage, powers forward, and I think he's got the first down at the 36-yard line. And if he doesn't have it, he'll be very close, and I'll bet you Marquette will go if he doesn't.
Yeah, they'll have to have a measurement here, Sam, but I think he does have it. But that's the nice thing about Utley and also about Angelo Cross. They are good, hard-running fullbacks.
Well, the referee, I thought, signaled first down.
I think if I was the Knights, I'd ask for a measurement.
Well, and I think they're going to get one. They finally stopped the clock. They let it roll a long time, and the Explorers can thank them for that. So 2:18 remaining in the third quarter. And Marquette has it either 1st and 10 at the 36 or 4th and inches, and we're about to find out which it is. As they stretch it out, and I told you he had it, or does he?
He's got it.
He's got it by a whisker. The 10th first down of the night for the Explorers, and so far, even though Marquette has driven only to the 36 of the Knights, I think this is their most impressive offensive series of the night.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree necessarily, but the thing is, I think their offense has made a few, albeit they've had short drives, because they've been able to have short drives based on field position, but they've done a good job, I think, protecting the ball and making some some right play calling and some good moves by the halfbacks and fullbacks.
Two receivers to the left side, a wing to the left. They put that man in motion. Travis Jones to the right, and the pitch back to him bounces off his shoulder pad. It's loose, and Jones covers it back at the 41. And that, I don't know who you want to blame there. Eberlin's pitch wasn't the best, but I think maybe Jones was looking upfield too, so maybe enough blame to go around. But the good news is Travis Jones covered it for a loss of 5 back at the 41.
Yeah, and as far as blame, it doesn't matter who you blame, but we used to, as a coach, state that if the halfback touches the ball, he better catch the ball. And Jones did touch it, so he should have caught it. Although I really did think
it hit him in the shoulder pad.
Yeah, I thought that Eberlin threw the ball awful hard. You got to have some touch on that too, because a quarterback can throw it right through a halfback's hands.
2nd and 15, Marquette at the 41 of the Knights. Down to 1:20 and counting, remaining third quarter. Here is the give to the second man through, and that's Brimage. And Brimage, working the left side, takes it inside the 40 down to the 37-yard line. That's a gain of about 4, maybe 5 on the carry, as that was they faked the handoff to the fullback right up the gut and then brought the halfback actually a wingback in behind him and handed to him, and Brimage picked up 5.
Yeah, and we're going to see, Sam, that all year long that's going to be, the fullback belly and then the halfback belly one hole wider are the big plays, the running plays for Marquette.
Get this, Cecil Brimage, 3 carries for 13 yards. He's had a couple of long runs. They got called back.
Right, and a couple of nice kickoff returns, too.
Yeah. But the stats aren't going to tell the full story about the kind of game he's played. Eberlin rolls to his left, wants to throw. Now he steps up and takes off with it and takes it down to the 30 before he's hammered to the turf. And a nice decision there by Keenan Eberlin. And he picked up about 8 on that carry, and it's going to bring about 4th and about 4.
Well, here's a chance to see what kind of a leg that Zach Keenan has. Some people think he's maybe the next coming of Craig Hendrick. I don't know if we'll ever see that, and I'm not knocking Zach. He's a very good kicker. But if he tries one from here, from the 30, it'll be a 47-yard field goal.
But
with a 13-point lead, I'd almost would like to see him try. But
that decision will be made here in the break between the third and fourth quarters, because the third quarter has expired. And after 3 quarters of play at Public School Stadium in Alton, it's Marquette 23, Metro East Lutheran 10. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
Hi, George Weber. As we watch this year's Olympic Games and root for the world's top athletes, the Weber Chevrolet family wants to offer some encouragement to the terrific men and women representing our country. You are the best of the best. We know how hard you have worked. Win or lose, we are proud of you, and you are all truly winners. Even though you are half a world away, we are with you through every sprint, jump, and dive. And we sing along with you when you stand on that medal stand listening to the national anthem. So from all of us at Weber Chevrolet, go Team USA.
St. Anthony's Health Center, located in Alton, is serving the Riverbend area with quality patient care and comfort through comprehensive outpatient rehabilitative therapy services, advanced diagnostic technology, and emergency services, while also providing community education classes that benefit those of all ages. All brought to you by St. Anthony's Health Center's dedicated and caring health professionals. With Mike Slaughter, Sam Stem back at Public School Stadium in Alton, set for fourth quarter action. Marquette facing 4th and 4 at the 30 of the Knights, and this will be a 46-yard field goal attempt by Zach Keenan from the left hash mark, out of the hold of Keenan Eberlin. So the Explorers trying to add to their 13-point lead with a 46-yard attempt. They line it up, the snap, the spot, the kick, it's up, it's high, it's plenty long. Or is it? No, it's just under the crossbar. Yeah. I thought it was going to carry through. It was on target, and at the last moment it just died just shy of the crossbar. It would have been good from 45, but not 46.
It might have been good from 45, you're right. And I tell you what, I really believed when he got the ball off that he didn't get all of it. I really think he can make it from there. Good attempt, and it was on target. It just came up a little bit short.
The snap was good, the spot was good, and Zach Keenan put a toe into it. and it was right down the middle.
But, the nice thing about that, too, Sam, is if you miss something like that, the ball comes out on the 20.
Well, back, you mentioned the days of Craig Hendrick. He'd try 55, 60-yard field goals.
Well, he made a couple 55-yarders.
Well, he made a 56-yarder here in a driving rainstorm against Carlinville. But even when he tried those extremely long field goals, if he got them to the end zone, they came out to the 20, so it was just as good, sometimes better than some teams' punts. So now on the first down play for the Knights, nothing doing, as Joe McCall gets the handoff and is buried for a 2-yard loss.
Well, Joe McCall, the fullback that time, he ran into the quarterback, and they had a little bit of exchange problem. They were lucky to hold on to the ball.
So early fourth quarter, down to 11:25 remaining in the ball game. Marquette's lead still 13 at 23-10. The Explorers led by 10 at the end of one quarter, by 7 at the half, and by 13 at the end of three quarters. What will the score be at the end of the fourth? Here is the give on a reverse, an inside reverse, and the ball carrier McCall takes it out to the 19, a gain of only a yard.
That was Angelo Cross coming up and making the stop there. But right now, what you're seeing from the Marquette defense is they're making stops on plays that in the second quarter they weren't stopping.
Well, Brendelson in the first half carried 17 times for 102 yards. He's carried one time here in the second half and has lost a yard. So I don't know if he's gassed or hurt. I don't even know if he's in there. I don't think he is in. Yes, he is. Now Langendorf back to throw, lets it go deep down the right side, hits his man in the hands at the 45, and he drops it. A beautiful pass by Langendorf, and Niemeyer just dropped it at the 45-yard line. He had two Explorer defenders beat, and it was going to be a big play for the Knights, and Niemeyer is really upset with himself, and he should be.
Well, he should be, Sam, because I tell you what, Langendorf could not have thrown that ball any nicer. On one hand, it was a great play by Langendorf. On the other hand, the receiver should have caught it but did not. And then, of course, you've got the Marquette defense, which what are they thinking? How come they let a kid that wide open?
Langendorf is 0 for 4 here in the second half. In the first half, he hit 6 of 10 for 50 yards, but he has not completed a pass here in the second half, but it's not all his fault.
No, not at all. Actually, like I said before, I liked Langendorf last year. I like him again this year. He's going to be a good quarterback.
Brimage and Jones. Sounds like an accounting firm.
There's some confusion on that Metro team right now for the punt.
Metro is in punt formation, but things are all messed up for them, and so they'll take a timeout, and so will we. 10:29 remaining fourth quarter, Marquette 23, Metro East Lutheran 10. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
It's good to be first. First Cloverleaf Bank.
Sports, food, and good times. All this and more are waiting for you at Alton Sports Tap. Gather the crew for a night out, or better yet, bring in the whole family and enjoy the best burger or wings in town. We offer daily specials, an affordable menu, and a family-friendly atmosphere. Visit our new Caribbean-themed edition. We also have banquet and meeting rooms for your special occasion. Alton Sports Tap, serving up sports, food, and good times daily at the intersection of Route 140 and Homer Adams Parkway in Alton.
After the Knights' timeout, they're in punt formation with Brimage and Jones standing just on their side of midfield, but that kick is shanked, or it was partially blocked.
I think it was partially blocked. Angelo Cross got through, and how he did not just get that thing in the gut, I don't know, but he got part of it, that's for sure.
It rolls dead out at the Knight 44-yard line, and has been the case for much of the night. The Explorers will start in Metro East Lutheran territory, and that is the biggest factor in this game. The early turnovers by the Knights and field position. And Marquette has shown the superior kicking game, the superior return game, and the Explorers have been able to overcome 8 penalties, that some that have really hurt Marquette. But because of those early turnovers and the field position, Marquette leads by 13. Double wing formation. Utley the fullback, and Utley gets the handoff, bounces off a tackler at the line of scrimmage and bowls his way down to the 40-yard line. Then a late flag is thrown at the point of the tackle, and we'll see if a Marquette blocker was holding or if a defender created the infraction. As it was, a 4-yard pickup by Utley. And
defensive pushing.
So after the 4-yard pickup, more yardage will be tacked on. 15 yards. Well, they tack on 10.
So there was illegal use of the hands, but Sam, I didn't see who it was on. I don't know what happened there exactly, but it's a 15-yard penalty, it looked like. Or was that 10-yard penalty?
Well, I think they took it 15 from the line of scrimmage.
Okay, from the line of scrimmage.
But Utley had picked up 4 on the carry. At any rate, it's a Marquette first down, their 11th of the night. And Utley has carried 8 times for 33 yards. 1st and 10 Explorers at the 29. And now Eberlin draws the entire defensive line offside with a hard count. And I'll tell you what, Keenan Eberlin, in his first varsity start at quarterback, has done a very fine job.
He really has. He's done a good job leading the Explorers, and that's always so important. So they'll march off 5 against the Knights here. And I tell you what, it'd be nice to see Marquette go down. Some people might think this game's over with right now with a 13-point lead and 10 minutes left, but I guarantee you it's not. Not in high school ball. So it'd be important. It'd be nice, and it's important that Marquette does take this ball down, get it in the end zone.
1st and 5 Explorers at the 24 of Metro East Lutheran. Zach Keenan wide left. No, he's wide to the right. Another receiver wide left. And they run the wing counter, and that's Cecil Brimage. And Brimage, working the left side, takes it down to the 20. And he zigs and zags more quickly than anybody I've seen in a long time. Well, I shouldn't say that. I saw Jared Zerwas zig and zag last year, and but Brimage is extraordinary as well. 8-yard pickup.
To see a kid run like that, yeah, he's doing a good job. And I tell you what, that wing back counter, I've been looking for that all night long. That's going to be a big play for Marquette. And I think once Coach Nelson gets comfortable, he'll start calling that a lot more.
Well, especially if you have an aggressive defense. I wouldn't say that Metro East Lutheran is overly aggressive.
Right.
But if you get a defense that bites on that belly to the fullback and then run that counter, look out. Here is the fullback now, and that's Utley. And Utley, good yardage, down to the 11-yard line. And
he just lowers his head and runs, doesn't he, Sam? He just pounds it.
An 11-yard pickup for Utley on that carry, and the 12th first down of the night for the Explorers. 7 of those first downs here in the second half, and Marquette's offense has looked much better here in the second half. Clock rolling with 8:55 remaining in the ball game. Marquette leading 23-10, and knocking on the door. 1st and 10 at the 12 of the Knights.
Well, what I've been most impressed about, Sam, is Marquette has no turnovers.
Double tight, double wing. Utley, the fullback, and the give is to Utley. Big hole to the right side. Utley bowls his way inside the 10, down to the 7-yard line, and that was a gain of 4 on that carry. Utley 48 yards on 10 carries. The other fullback, Angelo Cross, 41 yards on 10 carries. But you know, it's kind of nice. Cross played most of the first half, and then you get a fresh pair of legs in there in the second half as the defense starts to wear down. That can be a big advantage.
Well, only semi-fresh. Utley's played the whole game on defense also, but I know what you're saying, and you're exactly right.
Now Utley again working the left side. Utley inside to 5, down to about the 3-yard line.
I think Coach is going to play it safe here and just keep on giving the ball to Utley right now. We've got 3rd down. We got 2 more plays. I mean, I don't think they'll kick a field goal at this point. I think what they'll do is run these 2 plays, try to get that ball in the end zone.
Utley 4 more on that carry. And now the Explorers face 3rd and 2 at the 4-yard line. Keenan Eberlin came over to the near sideline to get some instructions, now back out in the huddle and leads his team to the line of scrimmage.
I don't know what kind of instructions he needs. All he's going to do is give it to the fullback, I would think.
3rd and 2 at the 4. And the give is to Utley right up the middle, and he's down near the goal line, but apparently he is in. Touchdown. 4-yard touchdown run, Steve Utley, and the Explorers put a little icing on the cake.
Well, and for all practical purposes, Sam, that should do it. But again, you never know in high school ball.
Stranger things have happened.
And I've seen them happen. They've happened to me. They've happened for me. But again, for all practical purposes, that should be about it.
4 touchdowns for Marquette tonight by 4 different players. Keenan Eberlin, a 1-yard touchdown run. Angelo Cross, a 2-yard touchdown run. Steve Utley, a 4-yard touchdown run. And a 25-yard touchdown pass from Keenan Eberlin to Zach Keenan, plus Zach Keenan a field goal, a 38-yard field goal. Now the extra point attempt, high snap, but Eberlin gets it down, and Zach Keenan drives it through. And with 7:17 remaining in the fourth quarter, the score now is Marquette 30, Metro East Lutheran 10. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
It's good to be first. First Cloverleaf Bank.
Zach Keenan to kick off for the 6th time tonight. Plus, he's tried 3 field goals. His right leg's going to fall off. And this one rolls out of bounds down the left sideline, and I guess 5 kickoffs is his limit.
I guess so, yeah. He looked tired on that one, but, he's not just kicking it either.
No.
He's playing offense, he's playing defense, and Craig Hendrick, he didn't have to do all that. He would have done everything for us, except he hurt his shoulder 2 years in a row. Otherwise, he'd have been our quarterback and a safety for us and the kicker. But as it turned out, towards the end of his career at Marquette, he did mostly just kicking and came on the field and played some safety for us.
Well, Hendrick is the kicker that everybody remembers because he's, he had a stellar career at Notre Dame, and he's still playing in the NFL with the Tennessee Titans, won a Super Bowl with the Green Bay Packers. But Marquette has had some good kickers over the years. I mean, it wasn't just Hendrick.
No, we had kids like
Brad Bohannon's one, I think of.
Came right after Hendrick, and Brad did a heck of a job. I had a kid named DJ Lucisic who did a heck of a job kicking the ball into the end zone. And we've had some good kickers.
1st and 10 Knights from their own 35, and they give it to the fullback, McCall, and he gets a yard. And they can do that all night long. You think at some point Langendorf's just going to have to start airing it out.
Well, you would
throws the ability to throw the football, but
yeah,
McCall picked up 2 out to the 37.
Being 20 points down, it's time to work on your passing game. I mean, I hope they don't because the game will go faster.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to see them come out and start passing some.
Marquette is home next Friday night, hosting the Greenville Comets from the east side of the SCC. Now the pitch back, and here is Brindleson.
Yeah, it looks like
and
Brindleson
picks up 8 out to the 45-yard line and has a first down. And Brindleson has been used sparingly here in the second half. That's only his second carry.
Yeah, he has not done much second half. He got up that time looking like he had some cramps or something, but for whatever reason, Coach has not been using him much this second half.
Well, this is the third and final in this series between the Explorers and the Knights, between the Catholics and the Lutherans, and Marquette looks like they'll make it a 3-0 sweep next year. No non-conference games in the SEC because it goes to a 10-team conference. All 9 games will be conference games. Back to throw, Langendorf on 1st and 10. Swings it out to the right side. He has his man. That's Brindleson. Brindleson breaks a tackle at midfield. Down the right sideline, inside the 40, all the way down to the 35-yard line. And that'll be a 20-yard, well, let's make it 18, as they say he went out at the 37. An 18-yard completion from Langendorf to Brindleson.
Well, and that happened simply because one of the Marquette defenders, who I know who it was, but I'm not going to mention his name, missed a tackle in the open field, and after he missed that tackle, Brindleson went for about 18 more yards.
That stops the clock with 6:08 remaining in the fourth quarter. The 14th first down of the night for Metro East Lutheran to 12 for the Explorers. 1st and 10 Knights, and here's the give right up the middle to the fullback, and that's McCall, and he goes nowhere. In fact, he's thrown for a loss. Keenan Eberlin also active on defense.
Yeah, I think it's time to get your quarterback off defense. And if he is he still out there, Sam? Did you say?
He is out there, yeah.
He was. I know he was, yeah. And at this point, with 5 minutes left in the game, I think I would get him off the field and start getting some other kids in there. You got to, at some point, start protecting some of your key players like your quarterback.
Your backup quarterback, Andre Embry, he is the backup, isn't he?
Yes.
He's playing left defensive end right now. Now that's something, isn't it? That's a combination you don't see very often. Now McCall, or is that Brindleson, crosses the 35 and takes it inside to the 33. That was Brindleson on the carry. And he picked up 5 on that carry. I mean, Andre Embry's big enough to play.
Oh, absolutely big enough, yeah.
Now Angelo Cross down.
Angelo Cross is down. I don't know if it's cramps, if he's out of gas,
let's hope it's
or
cramps.
what. Yeah.
Let's hope it's cramps.
The way he went down, it didn't look like it was something too serious, but you just never know sometimes.
Cramps you can recover from pretty quickly, but if it's a knee or an ankle, well, then you might have a problem. That stops the clock with 5:09 remaining in the fourth quarter. Marquette leading 30-10. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
Make life easy for yourself at the United Methodist Village.
With no more stairs and no more home upkeep in a spacious apartment or villa home, with no upfront endowment and just one monthly fee, you stay in control of your finances. Now that's easy and smart. Countryside living that is fun, neighborly, and only minutes from the Clark Bridge. The United Methodist Village, where living is easy.
I only wish I'd have moved here sooner.
Angelo Cross walked off the field, suffering from cramps. Now 3rd and 5, Metro East Lutheran at the Marquette 32-yard line. They put a wing to the right, split backs behind Andrew Langendorf. And Langendorf rolls to his right and lets it go downfield. He throws it up for grabs, and it's caught inside the 5 down to the 2-yard line. Zach Keenan on defense should have been. There should have been a flag. He pushed off the receiver, and by doing so, he pushed the receiver right into the football, and he caught it.
There was definitely contact between the defender and the receiver, and I thought there should have been a flag too, but it looked like Zach Keenan pushed the kid right to the ball.
A 30-yard completion. And it's 1st and goal Knights at the Marquette 3-yard line.
Well, on this point in the game, a 30-17 score is a much nicer score than 30-10. So, the Knights want to get it in there.
1st and goal at the Explorer 3-yard line. We've got another player down and injured on the far sideline. That's a Knight. And he's up and fine. That's Niemeyer.
Yeah, I think right now kids are starting to cramp up, and they've lost a lot of fluids. It's their first game of the season, and really we're lucky it's not a real hot, humid, sticky night. But
typically in these early games, if it's really hot, they will take water breaks.
Right.
Official water. The officials will stop the clock and they haven't done that tonight. And it might be a little bit deceptive that it's not as hot as it might normally be in August, but it's still warm enough.
Right.
Now Langendorf rolls to his right and throws it into the end zone, incomplete. I'll tell you what, Langendorf's living right, because on a number of occasions he has thrown the ball up for grabs, and so far he hasn't had to pay a price for it.
He has not had one picked yet, has he? And right there, that one could have been picked, except the defender lost his footing, and slid underneath the ball. I guess he was able to get a hand on it and knock it down, but he could have picked it off.
Well, that 30-yard completion, that was a prayer, and it just occurred to me, I guess the good Lord answers Lutheran prayers just as well as Catholic prayers.
I guess they do, Sam.
Because that one was answered, thanks in part to Zach Keenan getting away with a push. He'd have been better off, though, to
defend the receiver?
Yes. Now they put a man in motion, 2nd and goal at the 3, and they give it on the delay to Brindleson, and he's in for the touchdown. Brindleson, a 3-yard touchdown run, and the Knights are on the board for the first time in the second half.
Yeah, that was a nice series by the Knights, helped along by that 30-yard pass, but when you're down 30-10, it's easy to just give up, especially when you're starting to cramp up. And, you're hot, you're tired, you want to go home. And that was nice to see for the Knights to go down and score. On the other hand, if you're the Marquette defense, you sure did not want to give up those the 16th and maybe here the 17th point.
Now Joe McCall will attempt the extra point out of the hold of Andrew Langendorf and try to cut it back to a 13-point Marquette lead. And this game's not quite over yet, as that extra point is good, and that makes the score Marquette 30, the Knights 17, 4:18 remaining fourth quarter. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
Listen to what people are saying about the Bank of Edwardsville.
It is a pleasure for me to bank at the Bank of Edwardsville.
Your entire staff was professional, thorough, and very helpful.
I was told I would be taken good care of, and that was the understatement of the year.
Because of the excellent service I received, I transferred both my savings and checking accounts to the Bank of Edwardsville.
We appreciate the dedication the bank provides.
And that's why I work at the Bank of Edwardsville.
Well, this was not over yet with Mike Slaughter. My name is Sam Stem, back at Public School Stadium in Alton. Still 4:18 remaining in the fourth quarter. And Marquette's 20-point lead has been cut back to 13.
You think they're going to try onside here, Sam?
It sure looks like it, doesn't it? It is an onside kick, and the Explorers covered immediately. Steve Utley just goes down on the football at the 49, and the Explorers will start with good field position. And now here's where you want to see Marquette just run the clock out.
Well, they've established the fact they've got a fullback or a couple fullbacks who can run, so do you think we're going to see the fullbacks the rest of the game?
Well, I have a hunch you're not going to see Keenan Eberlin throwing the ball much.
I tell you what, if we do, I'm going to go down there and tell Coach Nelson to stop throwing the ball. No, I'm sure that he's going to hand the ball off every time now. I haven't been paying attention, Sam. How many timeouts do the Knights have?
I think they used one. They used one before that punt, so I think they have two left.
Okay.
But don't hold me to that. All right, the Explorers break the huddle. They need to run 4:16 off the clock to get this season underway with a victory and start the Nelson era in fine fashion. And it's Angelo Cross, who went off the field earlier with cramps, back in there at fullback, and he crossed his midfield and takes it down to the 46 of the Knights, a gain of 5 on the carry.
Yeah, that was a nice run by Angelo. I think I'm as surprised as you, though, Sam, to see him back in there. But, it's been all night. It's been Cross and Utley. So,
well, between the two fullbacks, the Explorers unofficially have 102 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns from the fullback position. So that's pretty good production. Except that the Knights are 3A and the Explorers 2A. That's the projection for this season. Back to throw, Langendorf. He completes it. No, he doesn't.
No.
It would have been better if he had. Incomplete out at the 21. A sliding attempt out there by the receiver. He couldn't come up with it. If he had, that would have kept the clock running, and the Knights are out of timeouts. But instead, it stops the clock with 26 seconds remaining. 2nd down and 10, Metro East Lutheran. Langendorf rolls to his right. Now he's going to run with it. Right up the middle of the field. He slides to a 1st down out at the 25, and they'll stop the clock to move the sticks after the 13-yard pickup by Langendorf.
Well, the Knights may take a loss here, Sam, but they really did not play that poorly of a first game. I'm
They've
sure
got some things to build on.
Yeah, their coaches are going to be telling them that. That first quarter killed them. Obviously, turnovers.
They complete a pass to Brindelson out in the right flat. He picks up 4, and the final seconds are going to tick off the clock. And with that, it's a victory for the Marquette Explorers as they defeat Metro East Lutheran 30-17 here in the season opener here at Public School Stadium in Alton. Once again, Marquette 30, Metro East Lutheran 17. Back to wrap it up in just a moment. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports. RiverBender.com's live coverage of tonight's game is brought to you by Meridian Bank, large enough to serve all your banking needs, small enough to care about you. Alton Memorial Hospital, the best health care close to home. Tom Lane State Farm, your good neighbor agent in the Riverbend. Roberts Motors, the value store since 1949. Gerard Fisher American Family Insurance, all your protection under one roof. Weber Granite City Chevrolet. St. Anthony's Health Center, innovation, commitment, compassion. First Cloverleaf Bank, we're better together. Alton Sports Tap, sports, food, and good times. And by the Bank of Edwardsville, the people you know and trust. The Marquette Explorers and the Metro East Lutheran Knights meet at midfield and shake hands as the Explorers have defeated the Knights by a score of 30-17 here in the season opener for both teams at Public School Stadium in Alton. My name is Sam Stem. Alongside has been Mike Slaughter. Here's the way the scoring went in this ball game. Marquette broke on top and was never headed. The Explorers scored with 4:02 remaining in the first quarter when junior quarterback Keenan Eberlin hit Zach Keenan with a 25-yard touchdown pass. Keenan added the extra point. Marquette led by a score of 7-0. Then, with just 22 seconds remaining in the first quarter, Zach Keenan hit a 38-yard field goal that extended Marquette's lead to 10-0. The Knights got back in it midway through the second quarter. A 5-yard run by Matthew Brindleson. Joe McCall added the extra point, and with 7:16 remaining in the second quarter, Metro East Lutheran trailed by just 3. It was Marquette 10, the Knights 7. Then with 2:59 remaining in the second quarter, Marquette got back on the scoreboard. Keenan Eberlin, a 1-yard touchdown run from the quarterback position. Zach Keenan added the extra point. Marquette led by 10. It was 17-7, but the Knights answered. They drove the length of the field, and with just 2 seconds remaining in the first half, Joe McCall kicked a 25-yard field goal to cut Marquette's lead to 7. It was 17-10 at the half. Marquette led it. But the Explorers came back out after halftime, took the second half kickoff, drove the length of the field. It was capped off by a 2-yard touchdown run by fullback Angelo Cross. Zach Keenan's extra point was blocked, and with 8:05 remaining, actually 8:25 remaining in the third quarter, Marquette led 23-10. The Explorers extended that lead to 20 points midway through the fourth quarter as Steve Utley ran it in from 4 yards out. That came with 7:17 remaining in the fourth quarter. The extra point by Zach Keenan was good. Marquette's lead was 30-10. Then just 3 minutes later, with 4:18 remaining in the fourth quarter, Matthew Brindleson scored his second touchdown of the night for the Knights, a 3-yard touchdown run. Joe McCall added the extra point, and there's your final score. Marquette 30, Metro East Lutheran 17. Marquette starts 1-0. Metro East Lutheran 0-1, and a good night for the Explorers as they took advantage of some turnovers and field position in the first half to build that 7-point halftime lead. Then the Marquette offense kind of got untracked in the second half with a couple of long touchdown drives, and the Explorers offense then clicked in the second half as Marquette put 30 points on the board on the night. And the Tim Nelson era at Marquette, the first-year head coach, scoring a victory in his first attempt as Marquette beats the Metro East Lutheran Knights 30-17. We thank Mike Slaughter for contributing to the broadcast, and we invite you to tune in next week. Marquette back home next Friday night, hosting the Greenville Comets, a 7 o'clock kickoff here at Public School Stadium, and you want to be on hand for that one, I'm sure. And if not, tune in to Z1570 for all of our play-by-play coverage next weekend. We got a full slate. Again, next Friday night, our live game features Heron at Civic Memorial. Game 2 of our broadcast doubleheader next Friday night, Staunton at East Alton Wood River. Fighting Illini football at 11 o'clock next Saturday morning, Eastern Illinois at Illinois for the Illini's home opener. Then 3 high school games, Marquette and Greenville, you'll hear about 2:30 next Saturday afternoon. At 4:30, it'll be Alton and Cahokia, and at 6:30, Vandalia and Roxana. So again, the final score here at Public School Stadium in Alton, Marquette 30, Metro East Lutheran 17. For our engineer, Brian Hennigan, and for my partner, Mike Slaughter, Sam Stem, saying, have a great holiday weekend, everybody.